Hey people, it was real cool the other morning, so I opened the window and these doves had moved into my house. So I went out to check on my berries and an old snake is still hanging out. You can see his eye there, like he got a cataract. I think he was fixing to shed his skin. So that cold weather had caused my berries to dry up. And they weren't looking good, so I left them there to fatten back up. I'll get them tomorrow. But this is what I do with those blackberries. I call them blackberries. They're dewberries. They grow a little bit different. They grow closer to the ground. But I make a cobbler with them, or I make some dewberry wine. Dewberry wine's the best. It's up there with blueberry. Except dewberry is actually a wine, because in order to be a wine, it has to be a fruit of the vine. So grapes and dewberries grow on a vine, but blueberries actually growing on a bush, so they're not actually a wine. You can make a drink out of it, but it's not, doesn't fit in the category of wine. But this is my mama's simple recipe she taught me when I was a kid. Just biscuit, milk, sugar, and berries. I used to do it in the microwave when I was a kid, and in just about 4 minutes I'd have me a cobbler made. So I had a real productive Mother's Day. My sister picked up my mother and brought her to Florida, so I got my oil changed. I had almost 20,000 miles on it. I usually change it about 12 to 15,000 in the diesel. I do a real thorough change, so I trusted up to about 15. I was a little lazy there, but my truck's happy. It likes it. Main reason I was making this, I want to turn you on to this movie, After School. Everybody needs to subscribe to After School. It's called The Best Kept Secret in History. I've talked about my DMT trip a couple times in movies, and it's not for everybody. And this is a good movie. It explains all about it and what they knew about it thousands of years ago. But when you come back, you come back a different person, and what it is you meet death, and it's how you become immortal. And he explains it real good in this movie. I'll leave the link. Everybody should watch it.
If you die before you die, you won't die when you die. That's the key. I call it the immortality key. It's the big job. It's what we're all looking for, right? The meaning of life? What does it mean to be alive? And what happens when we die? Is there a God? Is there a point to any of this? Well, according to the ancient philosophers and mystics, there are answers to these questions, like real answers. They're not hidden away in some book or some dark corner of the internet. They're not necessarily in your local church or temple. And even if Moses, Jesus, and the Buddha himself were sitting in your living room, they couldn't tell you. Because it's nothing you can actually learn. Nothing for your rational brain to compute, at least. My hero, the late Joseph Campbell, once said, "It's not the meaning of life that we're after."
People say that what we're all seeking is a meaning for life. I don't think that's what we're really seeking. I think what we're seeking is an experience of being alive, so that the life experiences that we have on the purely physical plane will have resonances within that are those of our own innermost being and reality, and so that we actually feel the rapture of being alive.
But you can't very well experience that rapture until you've experienced its opposite. You don't know what you got till it's gone, says Joni Mitchell. So until you've experienced death, not in some abstract or metaphorical way, but an actual death that feels acutely and terrifyingly real in this lifetime, how can you know what it means to be alive?
But that's what I said the first time I did it. What the hell I did? I done killed myself. But, you're in heaven. And I said, you know, I really don't care if I ever go back. I'll leave the link for that down below, and that's the main reason I made this movie. I had finished up Mandy's roof almost. I'm waiting on 2 little pieces of trim. I was putting this retrofit boot on this stack.
But I always make sure it's sealed up good underneath before the boot goes on.
And so the trick to these is, you know, it'll have a little number here. Get you a measurement on your pipe. And it'll have the size here, tell you what circle to cut out. And always put your crack down the hill. And run you a bead of this fat sticky tape on the bottom side of it. And peel that paper while you're applying it so you can bend it around the curves. You don't want any humps built up on it. You want a good smooth surface. And take your knife, your scraper or something, and clean this old caulk off the pipe good. And put you some new caulk around the top. And put your bead of caulk on the back side of this flap. And I say always make sure this crack is downhill. And you can even leave a pinhole, a drain in there, so in case this ever does leak, it has a place for this water to go instead of building up. It'll go down. And it comes with these little old buttons that just snap right in place. And it comes with this old choke strap, and before you put it on, pinch this together and stretch it back before you pull it tight. And so there won't be a crack here. And so there's a fresh bead of caulk underneath here, and this strap pulled tight into it. And then this will all screw down around the perimeter. This screws around about every 1.5 inches or so, depending on the boot and what this is made of. This was pretty soft. This is just aluminum band. And I caulk up these little plastic rivets to make sure they don't leak. So I got all her replacement windows ordered Friday. They'll be in 6 weeks. And I'll show you how I measured for them when they come in, and how to take the old windows out and replace them. So I was eating a jalapeno burger over there at Whataburger for lunch today, and I belched while I was eating, and it reminded me of this. And it's got a whole bunch of words here that you know what they mean, and their interpretation is kind of comical to it. And this is yea, make they, backwards and forwards, you know, Y-E-Y, yea. Yea, make they. Yea is in if they do. To make they. And about to fill is, you see up here, la male. You know, you have a male side and a female side. You know, the male is the one that fills. It goes in and fills the female side. And that's where they get this fill from. La male, of male, is the one that fills. It goes inside. The button, too, his stomach. You see, they'll spell this several different ways, but it's usually has, you know, the B-T, the tet, and the N in there, the button, like your belly button. Yea, make they of male button too. And then a sail, I sail, make sail, you know, to sail. And they'll usually say this, and he went, or he sent him, or something like that. You see how they added this God in there because it's just not here. The button to make sail, and then backwards and forwards, so it's to, you know, vav, connected to, butcher, when, and then backwards because it starts with A, U-P-A, to pay. The butcher when to pay. The fury of his wrath. The butcher, B-U-C-H-R-U-N, the butcher when to pay. Who mother, how, why mother, M-T-H-R, mother. The mother is the waters, the rain. Ooh, the mother, and it's the M, water, tet, to collect, R is first. First you got to collect the rainwaters, the drinking waters, fresh water. So mother. Allum to, O-L, all, I-M-U, allum to, belchum to, B-L-C-H-U-M-U, belchum to. While he is eating is the belchum to. Who mother allum to belchum to. The mother of all belch is a huge belch. The mother allum to belchum to. And there's another word right up here when he's talking about he has violently seized is to guzzle. Guzzle is when you violently seize a beer and turn it up and guzzle it all down. Guzzle, G-Z-L. To give, it is given, is known fact that the XX, backwards and forwards, XX, the double X, that's what we call, the double X is what you put on your jug of whiskey. The double X, RX, the double X drugs, the XX, RXX, the double X Rex, TS, X is a TS, it is. It is as in OZB, as in Dillies, D-L-I-S. Dillies isn't the poor, Dillies is dilly. Dilly is the prime. A dilly is when you pick all the best out, is a dilly, never poor. It's the prime, as in dilly, in it, guzzle, will, W-L-A, will, yod, to make venue, V-N-E-U, venue. Venue is, usually when it's talking about he has sons and daughters, it'll say beans, and venue is the daughters. Something to look at. Will make venue. In it, guzzle, will make venue is what you're watching. So this is job 20, it starts with the ionosphere to ionosphere, the nomadi to yammer. And this is where I was reading before I had to start work again. And I'm going to get on this here soon. I'm going to get back to reading. And this one at 28 was a good one. It's got a lot of good stuff in here. If you read down through it, you'll see a lot of these words all fit in with these words on the tree of life. You'll see all these words in here often. And it's pretty easy to tell if this is what it's talking about. And so I was reading that to get a better idea of what this is all about. And this is what I'll be working on next. But you can see it's the silver and gold and iron and copper, Mars and Venus, and the feet that hang far away. And then the wisdom and the understanding is the chakma and the bind. The wisdom and the understanding, the chakma and the bind. And it uses about 6 different words for gold here. You see the sugar is the gold, and the tie is the gold. And before it was the Zeb of Zev is the gold. And then the Buktus is the gold, in the gold. And then the P's is also the fine gold. But it appears to say the buckets, B-K-T-S, the buckets there, let sail, S. This is the S of support, to bind life. Can it be valued? Let sail. And you see this word is of the air is the same word that they say is heavens most of the time. The shamis, the same is. Same as above is so below. But I believe it has a bunch of clues here. And it's going to help me figure out some more of this. And all those different words for gold are going to help me figure out what those words mean in here. I'm sure it's talking about the gold column. I'm going to cut this off here. Good day.